So good morning, everyone. Yeah, my name is Ruben Tavares. I'm head of intelligent automation here at Swisscom B2B, and I've been doing robotic process automation for many years now, and I'm in charge for that for Swisscom. And I'm going to guide you today to this presentation, which will give you a tiny glimpse into the world of robotic process automation. When talking about digital transformation and bringing business processes to the next level and to the digital age, there's simply no way around automation and process automation. So it is really a key factor, and that's why I'm going to tell you about robotic process automation today with a focus on Microsoft Power Automate and a few best practices. So there are a few decision makers in the companies who, let's say CEOs, CIOs, COOs, or maybe you as the audience, who, may ask the question, which of my business processes are actually key? Which of my business processes are important and relevant? And there are many processes which have grown over time historically, obviously, and became self-evident and within the departments. So people often don't really think about doing those processes. They just do them on a daily basis. They don't think about the repercussions, the negatives, and they just used to do those processes. So many processes have been brought already into the digital world. Many have not, and those who have been brought into the digital world, are maybe out of date already. And what you need to focus also today and also in the next months and years is to those processes who are not yet in the digital age. How can I bring them forward? How can I optimize them? How can I automate them? So, but with everything around digital transformation, you always have a few challenges you need to think about. And one of the most important challenges is specifically when you're talking about digital transformation is the increasing amount of data which every single process is adding on. So obviously every process needs to do more, needs to be better, and the process is always evolving and the data is always a big topic, right? So when talking about big data, big databases, the data amount is always increasing. It's never decreasing, actually. So that's one challenge which you can have when going to the digital world with those processes. And obviously also in recent unprecedented times, it have shown that repetitive and inefficient business processes really need to be optimized. You cannot have your employees take care of I should say stupid or mundane tasks, while other tasks are waiting, are more important and more relevant and cannot be done due to those inefficient processes. So that's the challenge. And also, as already mentioned with the data, the complexity also grows by time. As said, the process does more and more, and the complexity grows over time automatically. And then the last part is also when you're talking about complexity and increasing data, you get into a point where sometimes business processes become unmanageable, where they are too complex, too big. They are basically not meant to be to be done by an employee by that capacity. So you need to think, how can I bring those processes to the digital world and optimize and automate them? So I have a few charts and statistics for you, just to give you a small glimpse and a small outlook into the future of automation. So I have an important one here from Gartner, which is a pretty steep one, which says that by 2024, which is already in 3 years, more than 69% of managerial and routine work will be automated. That's a statement, right? So not necessarily 69% of all the work, but also the steps who are required by the process in the backend. So this is a big one, and by being kind of an early adopter, you can basically be ahead of the curve and optimize already the process before going into a scenario where most processes become unmanageable, too big, too complex, and so this is one outline. Also, a lot of decision makers, when talking about CIOs or CEOs, actually in a lot of surveys mention that process automation is vital to digital transformation. So as I said, digital transformation and automation are glued together, they stick together, And when going to the digital age, you always need to think about, automating your processes, bringing them to the digital age. In a nutshell, what can you say about it? Automation is a catalyst for business and employee evolution. So when you're bringing your company to the next level, you're improving your processes to focus on more critical process. You need to think about automation and get rid of those tasks who are inefficient, who are repetitive, and take a lot of time and cost and effort. Another interesting insight is, where can I use this automation topic, and what does it bring to me? And also here, another survey shows that most of the answers are actually towards enhancing products and services. So most of the companies are looking to, enhance their products and services for their clients. So they want to make the customer service better, the products better, and therefore they need automation to do that. And also, close second is actually optimize internal business operations. So everything which works internally needs to be optimized as well. So it's not always externally, so a lot of internal topics as well. And the next few are making better decisions, obviously, and also automate tasks to free up workers, which is in tandem with the internal business operations, and also optimize external process, for example, with vendors, with clients. But the biggest one by far usually is you want to make your products better. You want to make better experience for your clients, specifically when we're talking about customer service. So there was a lot of information, a lot of charts, a lot of statistics, and this can be quite overwhelming. So how do I get started with the whole topic? So I want to give a very, very small, tiny glimpse into what it means to have, or what RPA, or robotic process automation, actually means. What does it stand for? You probably have an idea already, but I will show you just a little insight here. So RPA robots are obviously software-based robots which take over rule-based tasks from employees, right? Which tasks who have been done before, or tasks who have never been done before, are being done by RPA robots. And the key function here, or the key word here, is media discontinuity, or in German we say Medienbruch. But it's basically saying you have a lot of applications which work together but are not connected together, unfortunately. So you need this robot who works as an overlay and basically connects those applications together, transfers data from one to each other, etc. So this is basically the definition of an RPA robot who makes the connections through those applications and makes those processes possible. Yeah, it works with structured data a lot, also with unstructured data in many cases when you're going more into intelligent and cognitive part of automation. And obviously, no physical machines, no devices, right? When you're talking about RPA, and it's not really a replacement for APIs and interfaces. So you're using that really as an overlay to connect those applications through APIs, actually. A few benefits to highlight. Obviously, one of the most requested is you want to increase your productivity, your efficiency. You want to have a bigger throughput on your processes. You want to be better at your processes, and therefore you want to increase the efficiency and the productivity. A lot of companies, especially banks, are looking to reduce their costs, but over the years, the focus went more into the direction of want to be efficient, more throughput, etc. A few more, adhere to compliance is a big one. Also error reduction, which basically eliminates human error completely when done correctly. And you have robots who basically can work 24/7. You have robots who can run every day for a few hours or every week, or you have robots who run 24/7, specifically ones who are taking care of customer service. Those need to run consistently. And another big benefit is scalability. The robot doesn't care if it's doing 100 cases or 100,000 cases. You can easily scale a robot by adding more work to them. So that's also a big topic. And as previously said, it goes all around customer satisfaction and employee satisfaction. You want to make better products for your customers. You want to make a better experience for employees, and so these are the key benefits when talking about robotics. So that's why I want to make the transition today to a Microsoft Power Platform, which is a low-code and data platform to democratize digitalization and bring the process to the digital age, specifically in the Microsoft 365 world, but also with third-party tools. And in September we had a different session with our colleague Sebastian, who already had the session, with Power Platform. He talked about Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, Power Virtual Agents, and he gave a little glimpse into the whole, Power Platform. But today I want to focus more on the Power Automate part, which, the others are very interesting tools as well. Power Automate basically handles the hard work, the heavy lifting, the automation of the processes is done by Power Automate. So, and you have the interconnectivity with all the Microsoft solutions. In a nutshell, Power Platform, you can, with low code, you can build web and mobile apps and workflows. You can gain insights into your data easily, and it's already enterprise ready and has a security layer and a governance layer as well. And one of the key features of Power Platform is you have over 270 different connectors and services which you can connect to each other. And it's not really about just the 365 suite, Office, Outlook, Excel, SharePoint, Teams. It's also third-party tools like web bases, websites like Oracle databases, other websites, and but specifically, the whole Microsoft 365 suite is integrated, and you can connect all of those together. And it's really seamless. But you can also build custom connectors for your own applications if you want. So you can use APIs. You can use custom interactability where you can scan objects, and this is a big benefit of that. And I can give you later a small glimpse into connecting different applications. So general fields of application or general use cases for RPA or robotic process automation. Use cases in general, like report extraction, compare data on a regular basis, spot checks. These are the usual cases which a robot can do and does the best. Also fill out forms, write emails, etc. Also log into applications and execute functions. So these are like the standard tasks a robot can have, but it's basically more than that, obviously. But these are like the starters which you have. Cool. Also, another glimpse into where can I use this automation tool or practice the best, and which are the departments where it makes the most sense. And in my experience with my projects, the first three are usually the ones which have the most potential. Usually, when talking about automation, you have HR, you have finance, obviously, and then you have customer service. And especially customer service has been a real big deal in the last few months and years, where companies really want to automate their processes. They want to be better, want to make better products, but you have obviously a lot of more areas where you can use that. For example, in finance, you have payroll, you have budget planning, and in legal, you have a lot of potential in there as well. And there are more and more departments for specific industries like pharma, like banks and hospitals, which also have a lot of potential. And talking about customer service, as just said, it's a really big deal right now. And when talking about what do customers expect from the companies they buy things from, for example, we have a statistic here that millennials, or like younger people especially, they expect customer agents to already know their contact and product information. When talking to a customer, it's always a pain when something in the background, systems are not connected and data is not shared. And this is a big topic in the customer service. And also when talking about customer service, you have messaging apps when interacting with business. A lot of customers expect that. And this is basically the whole part of making a customer service better. How can I make that? And usually you use automation to do that. There's always an automation in place, either chatbots, it's voice bots, or like system automation on system level. Also, another cool case which we've done actually recently is managing infrastructure KPIs from a railway company. And this is a really cool bot who basically runs on a monthly basis through various internal KPI reports, collects data, reviews data, and uploads them to a repository to make to give the company a better overview how the company is operating, how the trains are operating, how how efficient are the trains. There are specifically KPIs which need to be monitored, and this is done through Power Automate, where those KPIs are collected, are evaluated, and compared to each other, and then you have statistics over months and months and months, where you can see, okay, how good did you operate actually. So this is a very cool case, and I want to show you right now a demo or showcase where I'm going to connect these few connectors. So we're talking about Teams, Excel, SharePoint, and actually mobile, where we want to connect those and make one seamless experience in less than 10 minutes. So let's dive
challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted, exactly. So let's dive right into that. So I go to that. So
good, perfect.
You can see it, right?
Yes.
So this is the overview of the Power Automate solution. You usually start here. You can also pre-select a few templates, a few functions where you can, connect different tools together already. And this is done here through templates and connectors. But we're doing that today. We're doing an own one today, right? So we're going to create one. And let's quickly name this. Add task to task list. So with that, I want to basically create a robot which is able to add a task to my task list. It adds the list to a SharePoint list, to an Excel list, to an Excel file, sorry, and I get a message in Teams and on my mobile phone. So just a small glimpse into what can be done.
Should not forget this task by the way.
That's right. So exactly. So for that, you usually need to define an input first. And basically, I want to trigger the robot directly, right? So I give him a few fields which he needs to work on. And so this is like this work item. We have another one, which is the description. Then we have a date field, which is the start date. And we have a date field, which is the due date.
Important for tasks.
Very important. So that's basically done for this part. The robot knows what input it's receiving. So now I'm going to the next part where I want to create an item in a SharePoint list. So for that, I'm writing SharePoint, and I want to create item. Right. So the good thing also about this that it automatically goes through the backend and it grabs all the SharePoint which you actually have access to. So I go into the first one, which I'm using in this part, which is our robotics teams, and then we have here a list which is this one. And now I can add a few things here, which is the work item is the title. And as you can see, the functions or the variables which are defined in the input are already here pre-selected. So I can just click that. He's already able to read that. For description, I'm obviously using the description field from the input. Progress value is clear. Start date is also from the input. There's already predefined. Due date as well. So, and then here, I want to assign it to myself. That's good. Next step. So that's the next part. And now I want to get a notification on my mobile phone. So I just type notification, send a mobile notification.
It's an SMS or is it
it's a push? It's a push app to my phone. Exactly.
Okay.
So I can just write here, new item brackets. I can pre-select a few fields here also, which I can have the title, which comes from the SharePoint list actually. As you can see on the green icon, and I can write successfully added to work progress tracker list. So just a few texts, and that's it. So I will get a notification also on my phone. That's done. Now I go into the next step, which I want to have a Teams chat basically on my computer to remind me that the entry has been done in the SharePoint list. So I just type Teams, and you have a lot of functions. As you can see, you have create a chat, create a meeting, get message details. But what I need now is post message chat or channel exactly, and I want to get the message to my Teams. Obviously, so I just need chat with Flowbot, chat with me and the bot. And basically, I want to have the same text as I did with the notification. So it was my copy paste. Go to the next step. And the final one, which is also interesting one, I want to have the item added to an Excel. And so we have Excel. You just type Excel. And now I want to add a row. Right, add a row to a table, which is already there. Good. So now I have a few fields also to select. I can select the location here. It's already predefined here as well. All of the locations I have access to. So I go into this part. I go into the document library. And then I can basically pre-select the file which I want to automate or access to, which is this one, my work list. So, and I can pre-select the table. So as you can see, he's fetching all the data automatically. I just need to select it. And now here I can add dynamic content as well. So I got this from the input, which is the work item. I got the description from the input, which is just description. The progress is coming from the SharePoint progress value. Start date is start date from the input, and at the due date also from the input. So, and I can assign it now finally to myself, which I just put there, username. Good. That's basically it. Now I can save. You will do a pre-check if everything's okay. So as you can see, there was something missing. And he's also saying that. So the recipient is missing and I want to get the message by myself. So I just type here user email. So he's getting my email, which is executing the robot. So now it's done. I do another save. See if everything is fine.
Looks like no.
Looks like green.
Great.
Very good. So I will quickly share my camera as well because I want to show the notification on. I think you're seeing myself now. Yep. So I want to test now the robot, and this is a robot which is called attended robot. This is manually triggered by the employee or by myself in this case. You also have unattended robots which run automatically in the background, for example, every 24/7 or every month, every day, etc. So I want to test this now, and I want to run it manually right now, just for the sake of testing. And what it's doing now, it's basically a pre-check. He's checking if all the connectors are connected, basically. So you can see SharePoint is green, notifications, Teams, Excel, everything is connected, so I can continue. And now he's asking for the input. So I just make something up. Finalize yearly financial report and report to be ASAP. So the start date, we want to do it in December. So I put the 1st of December, and it needs to be done latest at New Year's Eve, 31st of December. So now I can run the flow, and I will show you soon, if everything works fine, what messages did I get and what actually happened. So I'll run the flow very quickly.
There's a quick question. While you manually trigger the flow, would make more sense to trigger the scenario when the task is added in SharePoint, and when you have Teams on your phone, you don't need notification to phone.
That's true. That's true.
Fair remark, I guess.
So I get actually the Teams notification on my phone as well, but it's just, you know, for sake of testing. So I got, you know, you can see that the little notification on my phone, probably not so easy to see.
Now we see it.
Yeah.
Now,
so this
great.
from Power Automate app. So it's just basically a reminder that the task has been done. I'll quickly check Teams. So let's
came in, yeah.
So it's that one here. So it's this one, 1129, new item, finalize yearly financial report successfully added to the work process tracker list. So that's very good. Now I go into the Teams where the SharePoint list is stored, or basically I can show it better here on the browser.
So there's a question coming in. Do I need the apps pre-installed on my smartphone for the notification? Probably yes, right?
For that one, yes, but as mentioned by the other questioner, you can just have a notification on your Teams, and you have the Teams app installed. That's fine as well. That was just to say for testing sake. You can use that for multiple notifications. So that's actually the one which has been added right now. This is a SharePoint list, so he added the list and with the correct dates. That's very good. And now I go into the Excel, which is this one, and I'll just open it quickly. There it is, just popped. Finalize yearly financial report from December 1st to December 31st. So as you can see in I don't know, what was it, 8 minutes, I just made a very small, maybe you know, not worth mentioning robot, which adds just a task to a task list and gives me 2 notifications on my phone.
Without writing any code.
Without writing anything, yeah, I didn't write anything. So it's just make sure that your connectors are connected, that your process is automated, and then it works. So that was pretty cool. And just a few little last remarks. Oh, yeah. And you know, just a small few words to end this. Automation needs a strong foundation to succeed, nevertheless. So it may look very easy, but you need, if you want to make, you know, if you want to think big, you have it a big deal in your company. You need to have a clear vision. So you need to have a first step to define a vision of what automation can do for a company. Where does it benefit the most? Do you want cost reduction? Do you want efficiency gains? And you also need to align it with other automation strategies or digital initiatives, I should say, which you are also, you know, working on currently, and define a viable strategy to set goals and standards. So as I said, multiple companies have different goals, different standards. Think about what's most important to your company, and also evangelize the core philosophy of automation within the departments. A lot of people are usually a bit afraid of that. And they need to have a look at that and to see, okay, actually my work can be you know, have a higher efficiency, and I can focus on more important tasks, or I can make work on other tasks more time, right? That's usually the case. And the execution, you know, use quick wins. Start maybe with a big topic first. Use quick wins as success stories, and then, you know, make them whole marketing deal. Tell everyone about it, and then you can really think big and go into the company big more. And the last slide here is what are the key takeaways from today. Is you should think connected. So make the most of out of your applications which you're using today. You know, the more applications, the better the use case actually. And also think broad. Use rather verticals than horizontals. You know, go through departments. You have maybe your process which go from one department to another. Don't just think in you know, in verticals. And also think big, right? You should identify the biggest pain points and the highest costs and efficiency occasions which can be automated best. Think big. What are the biggest topics for your company? But also, like, it's good to start small, have small success stories first. And also think benefits, right? Think about what is important to you for your company. You want to save money, you want to save or increase efficiency. What is the key goal for your company? Think of that as well. So I think I'm done. Yep. That's from my part.
So thank you a lot.
Thank you.
Ruben.
Thank you,
Great
Andy.
on time.
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
Challenge accepted with the short demo. There is some additional questions. One is to automate process is one part, but to find the process to automate, you have to first find it.
Yep.
How do I find those processes in my company? Any best practices from your side?
Yes, so this is a common question. A lot of people are not aware of their pain points exactly. So if you ask them, what are your process pain points? They're usually like, I don't know, I need to find it out first. Usually what we do is we offer, a few discovery workshops where we, with the client, go through a few processes and identify them and put them, just put them on a board and evaluate how much does it, how inefficient is it? How much does it cost? And usually is that what we do. We usually sit together with multiple department heads. So it's not always one department, it's multiple departments. And we ask the questions, what are your pain points? And if they don't have an answer, we go deep dive into the, sub departments and the team leaders, and they have an answer maybe to that. So the short answer is you need to have those discovery workshops where you sit all on the table, you talk about that, and also a few department heads talk to each other about it. So it's always a big thing. So sit together, talk about it, and bring those processes onto a board and evaluate them.
Thanks. Do you have concrete cases that you recently did with customers?
So I mentioned this one with the railway company. We working on another where we're basically working on a customer service where we want to classify emails which come through multiple inboxes, and the robot basically needs to merge those inboxes into one to read those emails. Sometimes those mails are standardized, sometimes they are written by persons, and this is a more intelligent robot which uses natural language processing to define, okay, what needs to be done with this email. So the robot basically is pre-organizing the emails, pre-classifying the emails, so that the agent later has an easier work to go through them. And basically the standard ones, the robot is able to process them by themselves, add a ticket to a ticketing system. And the ones who are more complex, he basically is able to automatically assign them to an agent. And so you don't have a 100% work reduction, but 90% or 80 to 90%, where like 80 to 90% of cases are automated, and the rest, there are always some special cases who need to be done by an agent, but the robot is able to assign them by himself.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
There's another question. I rephrased the question a little bit. Where do you think automation is not, so which processes are not the ones you should hunt for automation? Are there some areas where you cannot do anything, or where you typically would not start?
Yeah, so the real answer is obviously with applications which have a lot of changes planned, right? For applications who are every month, every 2 months are changing constantly. Those are not so good suited for automation because you need to have the connectors, you need to interact with the elements, you need to scan elements. The robot needs to interact with the interface. Sometimes you can interact with the API, with the database directly. That's good. But sometimes on legacy applications, you do not have this option, and you need to go through the interface. So short answer is if you're automating applications who are constantly changing, constantly evolving, you may want to overthink that and use another option. Yeah, so that's one case. Yeah.
Thanks. Then another question regarding your demo: how do you publish your flow with other users?
That's a good question. So you can share this flow. I can share this flow with my whole organization if I want, or for specific people or specific departments by a few clicks. Like you can share a PowerPoint presentation or an Excel file. I can just share that with another colleague, and he's able to edit it or to run it or to schedule it, etc. So that's very easy. You can do that.
Okay, then thanks a lot. That's all from the question side. Our last minute questions. Good, then I think we can come to the end of today's webinar. Just for you as a reminder, mark your calendar for the next webinar on January 12th. We'll be around licensing with a special focus around Power Platform licensing tips and tricks, because licensing is something
not so easy.
not so easy. There are some basic things in Power Platform which are included in a regular Office 365 license, but if you want to do more connectors, then you need to buy additional license. You have different options, and try to cover it next time. And then maybe one more click. Also for you, we currently have this slide is in German because the offer is at the moment only available in German. We do have discovery workshops that we offer for customers who are interested in learning more what you can do with Microsoft 365 platforms with Teams. We have, it could be in the area of voice, for instance, but we also have a possibility to show you as part of this discovery workshop what can be done with Power Platform. So give some additional ideas. This is a free offering. If you're interested in doing these 2 or 3 hour workshops with our young new employees that we have, then please contact your account manager. So thanks a lot. But again, thanks for joining. Thank you
for having me. Thank you.
And yeah, hope you learned something, and see you next time. Thank you.
Bye-bye.